I've been thinking a lot about cabin fever. In fact, I even had to look up the definition, and it meant irritability, listlessness, or a lack of energy. I would even throw in some restlessness in there. But I've been thinking about it. And in the last couple weeks, I've been dealing with cabin fever, this idea of being stuck inside, not being able to go anywhere or to do anything, which isn't all the way true. I mean, we can still go out for walks and go out for runs, and we do that. But I think in this time, it just means to not be able to do what I feel is normal, like go to Disneyland, go out to eat. And then if I'm feeling just even a little sick, it's not being able to go see family. And in this time, that's what cabin fever is. When it used to mean, and it still probably does mean, that cabin fever was something that people would get because they would have to stay inside because of, say, the weather. And maybe I'm feeling sort of a late onset of cabin fever. Maybe some of us have already gone through this stage, or maybe some of us are continually going through this stage of cabin fever, but I've been going through it in the last couple of weeks. And it's really made me think a lot. And it's also made me think about writer's block. And I don't know if any of that has any connection to cabin fever, but I think it does. Now, when I'm not able to write something down or pen a story together or come up with creative ideas, I feel like I'm lost. I feel like I'm lost or not going anywhere. I guess athletically, if we're thinking about it that way, then almost like a plateau, a weightlifter, someone who lifts weights on the daily, can't continue to lift things in the same way or work out in the same way, because then there's no growth. Maybe this is a time of growth for me. Maybe this is a time of growth for all of us. Because cabin fever can look like the walls closing in. It could look like being stuck in a small space. I guess there's so many other ways it could look like, and this is just one of the many different ways. And yeah, I've been irritable. There have been times, Vanessa could tell you, I've been a little irritable in the last couple of weeks. But I guess cabin fever also helps me think about another thing. And that's, if cabin fever can affect me physically, I wonder if it can affect me spiritually. I wonder if it can affect my relationship with Jesus. And so I started thinking, what do I do when cabin fever starts to affect my relationship with Jesus? And there was only really one answer to that. And that was to go back to the basics. To go back to being grateful, to go back to praying, and for me, to go back to reading. And yeah, practice gratefulness. Literally practice it. It's something to be practiced. It's not, maybe we're good at it automatically for some of us, but it's something to practice for the rest of us. To verbally say, God, I am grateful for coffee. I am grateful for the sunshine. I am grateful for my wife, my friends, my family, and to verbally say that as many times as we can, and to practice that. And praying could look like our own space. Maybe we pray in the closet, or maybe we pray on our bedside. And if those spaces that we've created to pray in get too stale, maybe, like the athlete, change it up a little bit. Maybe set a timer for 5 minutes and just talk to God. God, I'm right here. I've set a timer, and I just want to be able to talk to you for the next couple minutes. And then reading. Reading helps, at least for me. It helps my brain, it helps my spirituality. And it could be anything. It could be reading a story, one of our favorite books. It could be reading a script, like I love reading scripts. I'm currently reading Rocky. But if we wanted to be more intentional, we can pick up a book called a devotional. And there are many types of devotionals out there. Some or most of which are broken down by each day of the year. We can open up to that day and read it, and that devotional will help sort of bring our attention to Christ. And so these are 3 basics that I remember. And should cabin fever set in, whether physically or spiritually, it's to go back to the basics. So if you take anything away from this, it's go back to the basics.